So listen up. If there is one thing that I need you to really grasp, it's this. If you don't understand gold, then you don't understand money. I know that sounds dramatic, maybe even old-fashioned, but hear me out. Because this isn't about shiny metal coins or conspiracy theories about Fort Knox. This is about a global shift happening right now, in real time, and most people are going to miss it. Let me break it down for you. The dollar is dying. Slowly, quietly, but definitely dying. And no, it's not going to crash overnight like it's some apocalyptic style movie. It's more of a long, drawn out unraveling of the system that we've all taken for granted for the last 50 years. And in the middle of that unraveling is one thing that's starting to shine again, which is gold. And I want to tell you all this now, because if you understand what is coming next, you're going to be far ahead most other people. Now, our rivals, China and Russia, they already mine massive amounts of gold, but still, they're going out of their way to import even more. Why is that? Because they've seen this coming for a while now, especially after what the US did to Russia, freezing hundreds of billions of their assets held in US dollars and treasuries. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. The moment the dollar stopped being neutral, it became a weapon. And that scared a lot of people. Not just rivals, not just enemies, but also allies. India, Germany, Poland, Singapore, Turkey, all buying gold, rebalancing reserves away from US financial instruments and into hard assets. It's a clear message. If your wealth is in dollars, your wealth is at risk. But gold doesn't care who you are. It doesn't freeze, it doesn't default, it just sits there, and then it holds its value. Even the US itself. Behind the scenes, there are signs that the government itself is trying to refill its gold vaults. There's long standing speculation, not proven, but also not denied, that Fort Knox might not actually have all of the gold that it claims to have. So the US has been importing gold in massive quantities. It's anyone's guess, but maybe to prepare for a gold reevaluation coming in 2026, or maybe to back the dollar again. Whatever the reason, they are moving fast, but quietly. Now let me ask you, you might know that US Treasuries are basically big IOUs. If you had to choose between a yellow sticky note with IOU written on it from the US government, which is already $34 trillion in debt and printing more money whenever the stock market sneezes, or shiny, pristine, physical gold bars. Which one would you pick? For central banks around the world, it actually used to be the IOU. But today, they're choosing gold. So for the first time in our lives, we get to witness something that maybe we thought would never happen. The theory has become a reality. And more foreign central banks, they're trading US treasuries for gold. Some sources even say that now there is more gold held than US treasuries. Whichever it is, this is a signal. It is a big flashing red warning that the world is preparing for a new kind of monetary reality. One where the US dollar no longer commands simple blind trust, and that real assets are now back in focus. Now let's take a quick moment to talk about the 1%, the ultra wealthy and the biggest players behind the scenes. They've known about gold's importance for a very long time now. For them, gold isn't just an investment, it is a strategic asset. Many of them have been quietly stockpiling gold for years, hedging against the inevitable decline of fiat currencies. Now, unlike the average investor, they move early and with intent. They hold physical gold, invest in gold mining companies, and sometimes use gold as collateral in private deals. To them, gold is insurance, not just against inflation, but against chaos. They see gold as a way to preserve and to transfer wealth across generations, especially when paper assets lose their value or when governments lose their control. This is why, while most people are just waking up now to gold, the 1% are already several moves ahead on the chessboard. And not just countries, but people are starting to notice their purchasing power evaporating as well. The house that your parents bought for $30,000 in the 70s now costs half a million. Eggs, gas, tuition, all of that is skyrocketing. It's not that things are simply just getting more expensive, it's that your dollars, the value of it is becoming less. That's inflation, and that is fiat decay. Now, here is what most people miss. Everyday investors, they haven't even started buying gold yet. Most portfolios hold barely 0.5% in gold, but historically, that used to be 2% of your portfolio. When the average person finally feels inflation eating their savings and rushes in to buy gold, that's when things are going to get crazy. Premiums spike, lines form up at the coin shops, and gold flies off shelves at places like Costco. But by then, probably too late. And here's what's coming next: lower interest rates, more money printing, more quantitative easing. All of that means one thing: more dollars chasing the same amount of gold, which means it's going to take more dollars to buy that same ounce of gold. $3,700 today could be $5,000 tomorrow, or even $10,000. Is that crazy? Not really. Not when you look at the money supply growth, not when you understand how fiat debasement works, and not when you realize that gold isn't going up. The dollar is in fact going down. And the gold story is just beginning. So if you want to protect yourself from what's coming next, inflation, central bank gains, the slow motion collapse of the fiat system, gold is actually one of the best lifeboats you can board right now. And I'm not saying throw away your life savings and go all in. I'm saying just start. Understand what gold is, why it matters, and why it's not just a relic of the past. But because if you don't, if you think money is just whatever the government says it is, you're going to be blindsided by what's coming. But if you understand gold, then you'll understand money. And if you understand money, you'll understand why the smartest players in the world are dumping the US dollar and buying gold before the rest of the world wakes up. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with a friend or family member, like it, comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.